Cucurella is the best left back in the EPL. Simple as that.
Wow.
No argument.
It took a while for people outside of the Chelsea community to appreciate Caicedo. His first 6 months at Chelsea he wasn't so good.
A DM, a cutter of the ball, a player who has one eye on a champion, who is not a defensive, like he's not centre back, and he has one eye on him for this game. He goes into this game, scores a goal, also helps this kid to play well. He's the best. 3 goals.
Look, Chelsea went into the game without their first choice, second choice, third choice, maybe 4 choice centre backs. Now there aren't many teams in the world who play any big game who survive that. Then in the course of the game, your 5th and 6th choice centre backs also get injured and you have to pull them off. Still, Chelsea hold their own.
Mohamed Salah never presses. When he loses the ball, he will not even take 3 steps to try and recover it.
If Chaluba is back and we have Fofana back, Maurice should trust a champion to help in this defense too. He's a kid, but these kids, the more they play, the more they adapt, the more they learn.
Sunderland have been better than United this season. So for United to have beaten Sunderland, it's good for them.
Arsenal, I don't see what can stop them from winning this league unless they do their Arsenal stuff and what's the league. I'm always worried for them. What will stop Arsenal? We don't know.
If Alonso is not clear who the penalty taker at Real Madrid is right from the start, that is where the problem might be later.
Welcome to Footy Centre podcast series. Welcome to Footy Centre podcast series.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day.
You can call it an explosive weekend, but this is exactly what football is all about. Drama right at the end, especially if you focus at Stamford Bridge and what Esteval did for Chelsea against Liverpool. We'll be looking at that. We'll also be looking at the brute strength of Erling Haaland and just what high lines can do for you or against you if you were a Barcelona fan or in that family. There's a lot to talk about in this particular edition of FC Pitch Side podcast with me, Thierry Nyan, and I'm here with Sichu, Philippa Trim, and Ajo. Guys, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome to my.
What's that?
It's just granules.
Granules.
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie, you make a miss some more. I miss some. Ebroning Kati, Ajo, how are you? Anyway, I know you are.
My name, the aesthetic monk, so aesthetic Esther. Yeah,
Aesthetic Ajo.
Yeah, man.
Aesthetic Ajo.
Yeah, the aestheticness. Yes, the aesthetic nature of the young boy.
Oh my goodness! But Sicho, you must be happy too because that was a very solid win by Man United.
No, well, it was very good first half, not so good second half, but I know we'll talk about it. So yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get deeper into all of that. But before we move on, let me just read some of the comments that have come through. On YouTube. A few of the comments had actually come through in previous episodes. I'm putting it all together, and going forward, we are going to be reading the comments out and answering your questions every single episode. So,
comments, yes.
Yeah, this one from Kofi Semebia says, "We are Chelsea. A lot went against us unfairly in that game, but we'll be back stronger." And this is actually a comment from the previous week. So I'm sure it was when Chelsea lost against Brighton. This one from Susan Jimenez says, "Arsenal's defense looks solid, but that United win was massive. Reminds me of something Nicholas Blake was saying about the top 4 race being wide open."
Wait, what's the name again? Susan what?
Susan Jimenez.
That's a Hispanic.
Sorry?
That's a Hispanic. That's not like.
Yeah. So I was wondering which of your followers is from Colombia.
We are global.
Yeah, we are global. I like that because even Nicholas Blake, when I checked that, because she added Nicholas Blake. When I checked, Nicholas Blake is in the UK. So
yeah, man.
It must have crossed some borders there, and I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. So that was from Susan Jimenez. So I mean, she was talking about Arsenal's defense looking solid, but But
Yeah.
it just, I mean, guys, it just is a very good defense when you look at Arsenal and the kind of shape Arteta has put up and how solid they've been in 3 seasons or so.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is very solid. And I think the consistency of the center back partnership and the goalkeeper has been key. And one thing I like about Mikel Arteta is when he picks his back line, he rarely changes it. So
Mm,
when Ben White was fit and available, was Ben White, throughout, and then Zinchenko played a lot of games. In fact, last season, even when Lewis Kelly broke into the team, he
right.
played him a lot of the times. And this season, it's also
Yeah.
kept that back four that they are playing. Ultimately, the combination between Gabriel and Saliba is superb. So whoever plays off them, they are able to
Hmm.
control that person. And David Raya normally doesn't get the credit he deserves. But I think David Raya, when Ateta made a decision not to keep Ramsdale as number one and bring in Raya, he came with lots of red flags, but all of us can see why. A proper leader, a proper goalkeeper, and very important to the way Arsenal play and defend.
Mm. There's another comment from Messi Anderson says that I think Ajo is very handsome.
Ajo, fresh boy, fresh boy, fresh boy, fresh boy,
Hey,
fresh boy,
With the pressure that, hey, Charlie, with the,
fresh boy,
hey,
fresh boy,
Messi Anderson. There were 3 guys on the show. I think Ajo is very
fresh,
handsome. Wow,
fresh
Ajo.
boy, fresh
No
boy,
size.
fresh
No
boy.
size.
oh,
Ghana Sports Analyst Association. Freshest ball.
now they will two. Now they will
Anyway,
two.
this one also from Rich. It says I think it's Rich Season 8724. That's the account name. Says I really like this show. It's very authentic and classy. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. We need that. We need that encouragement. Thank you. Big salute to you. This one says Real Madrid will win the league. Maybe after today, after today's results, Sevilla's result against Barcelona would give Real Madrid a lot of confidence. But this message came even before that, so he must have been prophesying. This one also says this is from Yao Anderson. It says that I have this question I want to ask: is the Spanish national financially better than RMCF? That is Real Madrid club. I don't know what that question means. Are you asking if the La Liga is richer than Real Madrid? I don't know what the
This is not
question
quite
is there.
clear. I don't get it.
Yeah, it says is the Spanish national financially better than the RMCF? Yeah, Anderson, we want to understand your question. So please make it clearer, and we're definitely going to discuss it. Anyway,
It says the word.
let's.
Say
Okay,
the question is the word better?
it's the Spanish national financially better than Real Madrid,
The question is
and
not complete. I don't know.
the Spanish national is what is confusing me. I don't know what the
Yeah.
Spanish national means.
Please,
Um,
if you're watching this episode, ask the question
yeah,
again. We'll be happy
yeah, please,
to understand what you're
yeah,
saying.
yeah, please come back with a question, and we definitely want to answer that. Anyway, so that is it with the comments. Let's go straight to our main conversations for today. We'll be focusing on the English Premier League, and I want to start with Manchester United. No, actually, no. I think it's unfair. Let's start with Chelsea and Liverpool. And so, going into this game, guys, the conversation was about how Liverpool have lost 2 games preceding this one
Mhm,
against Crystal Palace and Galatasaray in the Champions League,
mhm.
and how Chelsea were also missing a lot of key players. It's Cole Palmer, um, there is Leon Delap, and then also in defense, they were missing almost all their centre backs. That's Levi Colwell, Fofana, Tosin, Chalobah through suspension. And so Badiashile and
Champion.
Champong were the guys that were trusted by. It was almost like Enzo Maresca was asking, "Who is fit? Who can play? Okay,
Yeah,
you two,
yeah.
yeah. Let's see how that goes." And I wasn't expecting a good performance from them, to be honest with you. I thought Chelsea were going to concede a lot of goals, especially with the firepower that Liverpool have. But it was a big surprise, at least to me. I'll start with you, Ajo, on this one.
Now this game showed me two things, and I'll be very brief with this game because I feel like CFC fans are aware of whatever happened on the day. Kukurela is the best left back in the EPL. Simple as that.
Wow.
No argument. The best left back in the
Well,
EPL.
to be fair, last season his biggest competition was Kerkers, and Kerkers this
Let's
season
start.
is all over the place.
And Moises Caicedo is the best DM in the world. Because for a
Chelsea
DM,
fans.
no, no,
Rhys James is the best right back in the world. Cole Palmer is the best number 10 in the world. You have the best in every position.
those ones that they can say me. I'm saying the ones that I can argue and give you facts on it because when this guy said last year they denied him of top first 11 the EPL best 11. He wasn't there. PFA they denied him. A DM, a cutter of the ball, a player who has one eye on a champion, who is not a defensive like he's not centre back, and he has one eye
Right.
on him for this game. He goes into this game, scores a goal, also helps this kid to play well. He's the best. 3 goals. This season, 3 goals. They said, okay, he's not part of the PFA. He's now adding goals to his game to show you that I am there now. And for me,
But I think it took a while for people outside of the Chelsea community
mhm,
to appreciate Caicedo. I think Caicedo has
it came
his
from
first
our
6 months.
fans.
He wasn't his first 6 months at Chelsea.
Yeah,
He wasn't
he
so
needed to
good.
adapt
But
when it
but
was the price.
yeah, but last season, the whole of last season, I was really surprised that people kept overlooking him. He was literally carrying Chelsea. He and Cucurella. People were focusing on Kopama because of the goals, but it was Caicedo and Cucurella that were carrying Chelsea literally on their backs.
Yeah,
And it's good to see that
yeah.
the world is
So for
appreciating
me,
them.
Moises to me, no argument. He's the best the DM in the world. Everything all round center midfielder. He has that in him. And one thing that also
Liverpool fans will not agree anyway
but
because
he
of
beat
Gravenberch.
Gravenberch twice, beat him twice. He has played Vitinha already, schooled Vitinha. He's playing the Pedri in December. He will school him too. And so for me,
Since he was school.
yeah. But for me, you have Rhys James playing as a central centre back
Oh
in a
goodness.
three-back system. And for James to make 0 errors, it means Maresca can really coach anybody. But they're
But it's not the first time James is playing centre back.
no,
Tuchel
no,
used
this is not just centre back. This is like he's the heart of the three-man defense. The central
right,
centre back, the CCB.
right.
Difficult. You miss a pass, we are considering a goal. This
Mm,
showed me that Maresca can coach anybody at all because a champion played well, but he actually was super. He got injured with the ball. He Hato was stable. So for me, I feel like we sorry for that saying that we should let go of Maresca. They should just calm down. We had a rough patch. We understand that it was a rough patch, but to beat Liverpool and school them and beat them and play them. When the second half began, we trying to conserve them and hit them on the counter. It wasn't really working because
mm,
he made good saps. But at the point where we brought in Esteval,
right.
low sense of gravity, defensive contribution, the take-ons, the eye for the cutbacks. Joao Pedro had a bad game, you understand? But they were there to help. We didn't see that. We didn't feel him not in the game. Enzo was superb on the day. So for me, when Chelsea wants to show up, they show up high time. And we've beaten
Right.
the champions of France and in Europe, beating the champions of England, Apnes, the champions of Spain. And we'll go to Naples too and beat the champions of Italy. So for me, what we are
Wow.
doing, what we are doing without Kopama is impressive. We just have to stay consistent. You meet the low block teams, find a way around them, and get the goals. I was so impressed with Garnacho yesterday. Garnacho,
Mm.
the 1v1s, defensive contribution of the ball.
But I also saw some Chelsea fans who weren't impressed. They thought he was very wasteful.
I mean, Garnacho, that's that trying to find the fan net. He often tries that. We were a goal up, so he wanted to score, get the second goal. It happens. Even the big boys miss big chances. He was helping. This system needs somebody who can help defensively. Because when we invert Cucurella or Gusto and they start interchanging, we don't know who can give us leave spaces at the back. The interview with Cucurella was like, we knew Salah will not what come and defend. So we used his
Mm.
channels to operate like attack in the second half because he went
Okay.
for counter attack.
You said you're going to be brief, but you've used like 6 minutes already. So I'll move to I'll move to I'll move to
Wrapping up. I mean, let's be consistent and to help.
right.
I'm happy Maresca can coach. He can coach you.
No, I'll come to you on that. I think it's a different conversation. I'll come to you on that.
Thank you.
And that one I'll give you only 30 seconds for that. But
Wow.
Sicho, so I don't know if you were surprised by the results yesterday and how Liverpool played. Would you give credit to Chelsea, or would you say it was Liverpool's issues that caused their own downfall at Stamford Bridge? Gary Neville says their attack is very useless. Says Kekes is looking like a youth team player and cannot
He
compete
said
with
that.
players like Pedro Neto. So I don't know what Sicho thinks about the game.
No, I mean, credit to Chelsea first to begin with. I thought Look, the question is a combination of both. It's
And your
credit to
camera, we can't
Chelsea
see you. Okay.
and many
Oh,
aspects
one
of
second.
yeah.
Yes, please go on. Please go on, Sijo.
Yeah, so it's credit to Chelsea and also Liverpool have some answers to some questions to answer. I thought, look, Chelsea went into the game without their first choice, second choice, third choice, maybe fourth choice centre backs. Now there aren't many teams in the world who play any big game who survive that. Then in the course of the game, your fifth and sixth choice centre backs also get injured and you have to pull them off. Still, Chelsea hold their own. And one thing I like about look, forget about what you think about Chelsea. Say whatever you want to say about Chelsea, but Chelsea Football Club is built for big games. Just Chelsea just know how to be alive in big games. They will find a way, and that is what they did against Liverpool. So credit to Chelsea. There's no Cole Palmer. It didn't have an issue. Delap has been injured. They didn't have an issue. Joao Pedro had an off. They didn't have an issue. Pedro Neto wasn't necessarily at his best. They didn't have an issue. So the reason why I'm very impressed with Chelsea is there are several other players in that team that were not necessarily on top of their game. And there are so many players in that team who never would have started if all players were fit. Yes, they beat Liverpool. Now to Liverpool. I think that the problem that we've got with this Liverpool team that all of us are
Mm-hmm.
beginning to see is, look, Arne Slot has to be decisive. He has to be
Right.
firm, and he has to make the big calls, right? For me, you're at Anfield, you're leading game by 1-0. Look, I get a temptation wanting to play Florian Wirtz in and getting the best out of him because he came for a lot of money and all of that. But I just
Right.
honest, when Liverpool were at 1-1, they didn't. Well, when Liverpool were at 1-0, they didn't necessarily be Florian Wirtz. I thought he should have brought on Ekitike alongside Isak and Mo Salah. And the one player who wasn't necessarily putting his weight, in my opinion, was Cody Gakpo. And I was surprised
Mm.
Cody Gakpo lasted the entire 90 minutes. They've got players like Chiesa. And the game against Chelsea was really calling for a player like Chiesa because if you not got Mo Salah who is stretching the game, they need
Mm-hmm.
who's going to be direct, can stretch the game, he can hustle defenders. He actually will keep Malo Gusto thinking. And that didn't work. But ultimately, Liverpool have got genuine problems. And Ajo mentioned the last time, and all of us are beginning to see it. I think that he needs to stick with a midfield that has worked and is working. Soboslai, McAllister, Gravenberg is Liverpool's best three midfielders. They need to stick with that and keep the balance, get them to be consistent and keep them settled before he tries to do too much. Unfortunately for him, and I spoke about the profile of players Liverpool have lost and how they failed to replace them. You didn't have players like, even if Darwin Nunes is not scoring, he'll create problems. Luis Diaz will create you problems. Gakpo will do the same. Isak, we know he's a good goal scorer, but when he's not scoring, he won't create the same problems as others would. So I think Liverpool are in a bad place now. But look, they've got enough quality to bounce back. So I'm not going to say because they've lost 3 games in a row. That's where their season comes to an end. And I think they are in a purple patch and they'll find their level very soon.
I mean, I agree with you. I think that when you look at the player profile they have up front, they have Isak, who is not fully fit and cannot press like he was pressing at Newcastle United. Mohamed Salah never presses. When he loses the ball, he will not even take 3 steps to try and recover it.
True.
Cody Gakpo is the same. He also is not your typical pressing forward. And so you have 3 players who now will lose the ball and will not help the midfield three of Soboslai, McAllister, and Gravenberg, or if it's Florian Wirtz. And so that means that one of Liverpool's lethal weapons last season, pressing people from the front. Now they don't have it anymore. There's a lot of pressure on the midfield. And then there is also the other problem of the fullbacks, Frimpong or Bradley, and then also Kekes not doing their work well. And there's a lot, and that's why yesterday, I don't know if you realized, Maresca used a similar tactic that he used against PSG in the Club World Cup final, playing long balls through Robert
And try to
Sanchez
go too straight. Yeah.
into the into the wingers, be it Pedro Neto, Garnacho, or sometimes Gusto, in the wide areas, just to put pressure on the fullbacks, stopping them from attacking and also exploiting the space behind them. But Liverpool need to, come back stronger. Losing 3 games on a bounce is not stuff that any potential champion is going to show at any point in the season. But Ajo, your club has a lot of injury problems.
Yeah.
Chalobah returns, I think, in the next game. But Achampong maybe might. I don't think his injury is too serious.
Yeah.
Tosin, for fun, we know Levi Colwill is already out for the season. it looks like, and Badiashile now will be out for some weeks or months. It
I
looks
don't think it's
like
that serious though.
it's
For his injury is not that serious.
right, but whatever it is, Chelsea are still struggling with injuries,
Yeah.
not just in the centre back positions. Lavia came back, but we all know Lavia can go off after playing 1 minute. He's like glass. He can break into pieces tomorrow. There is Liam Delap. We are expecting him in December.
Hmm.
We know that Cole Palmer is also going to be out until after the
International
international
break.
break. There is Isugo. There is Andre Santos. Guys, that's a lot.
Yeah.
How is Chelsea going to remain consistent with the kind of energy we saw them put in if they don't have a good squad to be rotating? Because no player can be running and be doing that kind of work every week.
Henry, if Chaluba is back and we have Fofana back, Maresca should trust a champion to help in this defense too. He's a kid, but these kids, the more they play, the more they adapt, the more they learn. Yesterday we saw him play as a CCB, where in that way you have to just pass the ball, let the ball do the work
Mm,
for you. But he's a ball carrier and he's a right back, so he was maneuvering his way through, and it was working for him. So the more you play him every week, he will get used to what he has to do. He was adapting
right.
his own style to the formation and position you wanted him to play. So
Hmm.
he should trust Esteval and trust Echampo. These kids, the more they play, the more they are hungry to do something. Yes, you want to manage their game time, but you have Arsenal's in the dressing the hospital who are trying to come back very early. They are not ready. Trust these kids. Trust Garnacho. Trust Esteval. Trust Echampo because Tosin against a highline team, he will beat him with pace. Tosin cannot run. Tosin will easily be outpaced. We can't trust Tosin going through the December curve and waiting for the January transfer window. So for me, Fana is doing so well. This guy is back. Chaloba is also back. They are there. Get them to play. Fofana, right centre back. Chaloba, left centre back. Kukurela, inverted. Then play the champion as your CCB till you buy one in January, or maybe you get anybody who can be better than him. Because the way we are playing, if you don't have a consistent defense, you keep changing. It will affect our fullbacks. It will confuse Gusto with James and also Cucurella. So we need to be consistent with the particular back line. If it is Fofana, Chaloba, and Champon, play them, but we don't trust Tosin because of what? His lack of pace. And also trust Esteval on the right wing. And it will help us. Because we have a good run of games to go. After international break, we have a good run of games to go. And we can be winning and drawing most of them and at least getting ourselves close to the APL table. It's easy to do.
All right. So we'll see how that goes for Chelsea. But let's move on from Chelsea and Liverpool. Let's do Manchester United now, because Sicho, this was a good performance, and it's the first time I saw Man United win without any sort of drama, without any sort of concern.
Convincingly.
At any point in the 90 minutes, there was no penalty, there was no late goal, there was no equalizer at any point. This was a very smooth performance. Is this the kind of performance we can be expecting from United going forward?
The first half, yes. The second half, no. So the game was in two
Okay.
halves. United are playing against, Sunderland. Obviously, Sunderland have had a very good start to the season. So it's not a game, especially, and again, with United not having a good start to the season, it's not a game you're going to say it's a walk in the park and Man United was straight away going to win. United have been poor. Sunderland have been better than United this season. So for United to have beaten Sunderland, it's good for them. And hopefully switches momentum on their side. I thought in that first half, what really clicked for the team, Man United, was the boldness to play Mason Mount and Mbeumo around instead of Cunha. Look, the point is, when you play a player like Bruno Fernandes and then Cunha in the same team, you're likely to leave a lot of gaps. These two players don't have positional discipline. And that's not because they are bad footballers. It's simply because they want to be involved in too much. They want to be involved in too many things they should be involved in. So Bruno Fernandes wants to be everywhere. He wants to get close to the ball. He wants to be close to the action. While he's doing that, he's leaving gaps in the middle of the park. When you top that up with Cunha, who's also, in terms of spatial discipline, he doesn't have it. He also tries to move into several spaces. Then all of a sudden, the balance of the team is bad. But I thought Mason Mount made the attack look a bit compact, a bit thicker, a bit closer to each other, and the positions he was picking up, occupying positions where he allowed Bruno to stay in midfield, because once he moved from there, Bruno will be invited into it. But once he stays there, Bruno will know where to be. So I thought that was the master stroke, and maybe going forward, Mason Mount is making a statement to say that, yeah, you brought in Cunha, but if I am fit, I'm one of your better number 10s. Ultimately, though, it is the goalkeeper that many people will look at and say the massive credit to him. It wasn't because United were not tested. It was simply because for some of those tests that came on the goalkeeper Lamans, it would have gone on Baindia, and then Baindia could have flubbed it. He picked area
Yeah.
balls really well. One on one, he looked big. He made a very good dive and made a very good stop. Some of those little things that give the whole defense confidence, the keeper brought it on a four. If you have a goalkeeper behind you as a defender who is fluffing area balls, one on one is looking too small. When he's diving and making a save, is not very comfortable. Even you, the defender standing in front of the goalkeeper, you are always overthinking. So when a striker has the ball, you are overthinking instead of focusing on the ball. You're also thinking about what your
Right.
goalkeeper is going to do. And I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
was a good one. So when you after the game, one of the things Delete did was to run straight to the goalkeeper to congratulate the goalkeeper because Delete as a defender knows the kind of confidence he, a defender, can pick from a goalkeeper who looks confident.
I like that, and that is a straight dig and a straight bullet going straight to Turkey to Trabzonspor. But anyway, we move on, and we'll be looking at a few other games. Arsenal also beat West Ham United, and this was a very very assured performance by Arsenal. It looked like a training match. If you saw it, there was no threat by West Ham United. Arsenal in cruise control, Joe.
Yeah. I watched this game, so any Arsenal fan watching will be should listen to us very keen. I think if you take a player like Timber and how he's evolving his game, if he stays fit, Arsenal will win the league
Brilliant.
easily. Yeah, if he stays fit, I want to juxtapose him, the Arsenal fullbacks, and also the Liverpool fullbacks, and compare their strengths. If you look at the Liverpool fullbacks, Arsenal fullbacks, who has the advantage going to this season and who can win the league? Arsenal has on the right, he has um, Timber and also Ben White. Quality and quality. Left, Calafiori and Skelly. Quality upon quality. They can change anytime they want. If you go to Liverpool, on the right, Frimpong and Bradley, Arsenal are beating them easily. On the left too, they are beating them easily. So if these profiles can stay fit, Arsenal are winning the league easily. Because the way Timber has adapted to offensive play is very, very impressive. Long balls to him, first touch very, very unique, and he's contributing offensively. Offensively, Timber is helping Arsenal a lot, and also complementing whatever Saka will do on that right channel. So for me, I watched the game. I was like, okay, this guy again, if he will stay fit, he offers Arsenal something special. Because what he's doing, I don't see Ben White doing it for them. And also, I saw two variations of the game for Mikel Arteta. In the first half, he went to the sitting pivot in Declan Rice, who he has really evolved his game. Rice is becoming ball playing. Rice can control the tempo of a game. Rice can distribute balls. Rice is becoming like he can play as a deep line playmaker. And he played double number 8 in Eze and Odegaard, which was a bit tricky. If you go and face a high line team like attacking minded opponents with that system, it's a problem. But West Ham came up with a low block team. So double 8 in Eze and Odegaard was the best. In the second half, he changed that. And he realized that if you look at the West Ham defense, the left hand side, the Senegal player is so good defensively. So he was using the West Ham right channels to do cutbacks for Gyökeres. On 3 occasions, he brought them a second goal. So Mikel is also tactically adapting to different variations that can help him in December, where often his Achilles heels not to win the league. So Mikel, his technical team, they are ready in this league. So Arsenal tactically they are there. They have the players. They have the bench is there. They can change anytime and they can come and compete. So for Arsenal, it's good. I mean, look at Raya. He's not considering goals. Saliba and Gabriel solid in midfield. They are okay. They have Merino on the bench. They were able to win jobs with Mendy. So for Arsenal, I don't see what can stop them from winning this league unless they do their Arsenal stuff and bottle the league easily. I'm always worried for them. What will stop Arsenal? We don't know. Because the first 7 games, they showed us a team that is ready to win the league. And balanced
Yeah.
European
I
football.
think I think the only thing that can stop Arsenal is if Arteta. It can be Arteta's tactics in terms of the player quality and the talent they have it, but how he plans for certain games might be his own downfall. But I think
I'll
Arsenal
tell you
are
what can stop Arsenal from
fine.
winning the league.
Okay.
What would
One
that
thing
be?
that can
Okay.
stop the one thing that can stop Arsenal from winning the league is personality, the pressure, and how to deal with it. Right
Don't they have that in
now,
Gabriel now and Rice? Or it's not
it,
enough?
it, it's I don't think it's enough, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope they've grown out of it, but it's
Yes.
something that has held them back in the last two
I hope you are
seasons.
not
So
wrong.
yeah, so I'm looking at it because one of the, Arsenal can freeze.
Yeah.
And now Arsenal are on top of the league for the first time this season. Then we've gone to the
It's about how they
international
handle the
break.
pressure of being leaders because they've been chasing for
Absolutely,
years.
because when Arsenal are
Yeah.
chasing, we are like, oh, they are close, they are chasing. It was only 2 points, only 4 points. But whenever Arsenal have gone to the top, some way, somehow, they slipped back down. So we look at if Arsenal have got the mentality to. There's one thing chasing, and there's one thing being chased. They've now mastered chasing, but now that they are on top of the league very early, can they hold it? We'll see. We'll find out how far they've
Just
come
one
with in
point
terms
too.
of
So
personality.
No more points. No more points on Arsenal. No more points on Arsenal. Let's move on.
I'm saying I think
So,
just by 1 point. That's all. The league-
oh, okay.
Just
Yeah,
1 point.
yeah. But I mean, it's still very early in the season.
Yeah,
It's
7
it's
games.
going to be very difficult to know what
Yeah.
happens over there. Let's go straight to Spain because today something crazy happened. Sevilla beating Barcelona for the first time in 10 years.
Crazy.
19 attempts failed.
Crazy.
20th attempt success.
Crazy.
It just means that if you keep failing at something, keep trying, it would work. But it might work also if your opponent plays a high line. And that's exactly what Hansi Flick has been doing for a while now.
The Barca
And I hope Maresca has been watching all these games. But anyway, so Sicho, I'll come to you on this one. When you look at Barcelona's high line, is it something that Hansi Flick needs to look at? Or you think he's just one of those guys out there that says that if it fails, we'll keep doing what we'll keep revisiting plan A?
Now, top managers live and die by certain principles of theirs. And maybe this Hansi Flick's principle at Barcelona, where he and to be fair, even at Bayern Munich, his line was very high, except that up front the team was so good that you barely get in behind them. And even when you did, they had one of the best goalkeeping sweepers in Manu Neuer. So you can play the ball in behind, but Manu Neuer will close that space that is in behind. It's not the same for him in Barca. But I think when you play the high line, some principles are basic. When you play the high line, it's impossible to play the high line without pressing. When you play the high line, your front men need to press because the distance between your front line, the midfield, the back line is compact, but the space in behind that back line is big. So you can't allow the ball to get over the very top. And the ball doesn't have to be very long because remember that it is compact and it is short and it is high. So this is the problem Barcelona have got now. Lewandowski's not great presser of the ball. Lamine Yamal doesn't press well enough. Marcus Rashford has never been a good presser of the ball. All these three footballers, great attacking footballers. Ferran Torres is about one of the best pressers of the ball. And surprisingly, even Dani Olmo, when he tries to trigger the press, nobody backs it up. So it is easy to get past Barca's first line of press. Now, when you get past Barca's first line of press, then now you have people who are running in behind the defense because the defense is high. People can just bypass Barca's midfield with a ball over the top or a ball down the channel. Now, when you play the high line, apart from the press, you need an incredible organizer at the back. Now, that organizer, everybody in the back line needs to watch. So when that organizer steps up, everybody needs to step up. That is how you keep players offside. And so last season, Barcelona, by this time of the season, had caught many teams to an offside to a number of about 50. There were about 50 offsides against Barca by this time of the last season. And it was for one reason.
Mbappé contributed 7 of them.
Absolutely. And there was one reason for that. They had Inigo Martinez. Everybody was looking at Inigo Martinez. Paco Bas was looking at Inigo Martinez, Balde, and then Kunde. This season, they don't have the organizational skill of Inigo Martinez to let the team know when to step up, when to drop off, when to hold the line, and to set the offside trap. So it's easy now to get in behind Barca because Araujo is not that guy. Eric Garcia is not that guy. Paco Bas is too early for. I mean, he's still very young. He needs a leader by him, and that is why it's become very prevalent that even in the games Barca have won this season, teams have found, the spaces in behind them. And they also have the goalkeeper in the likes of Ter Stegen, who's comfortable stepping up very high, or Manuel Neuer's kind of goalkeeper who will step up and sweep. So Hansi Flick might just want to drop the line a little bit. But yeah, I think it's an experience goal. He knows what he wants. And Barca is a great team. They may come good, or maybe then they'll suffer more for this.
Yeah. But Ajo, I'll let you speak to the Real Madrid issue of Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe. They were both on the score sheet this time as Real Madrid beats Villarreal by 3 goals to 1.
Who's the penalty taker as Real Madrid?
Come again?
I think Mbappe just left it for him to get some goals. I mean, that's teamwork there.
Yeah, but
because Vini has scored the first goal. Vini has scored the first goal. So I'm thinking, if you have scored your first goal and I've not scored yet, and there's a penalty, and I'm the penalty taker.
Exactly what I was about to come to. So I think
Go on.
I think that they need to resolve this because you see, it looks like a problem that, oh, it's fine, blah blah blah, but there are going to be crucial games that you need a winner in the 80th minute, and you have both of these players on the pitch, and ego might come in the way, because if Alonso is not clear who the penalty taker at Real Madrid is right from the start, that is where the problem might be later,
Yeah.
and that needs to be solved. Because you see, if you are dealing with small ego, that's fine. But once Vinicius takes and he scores, next time he'll be expecting to take. And Mbappe might think that I'm also, like a very successful penalty taker everywhere I've been, every team I've played in. I need to be taking this. But you've given it to him today. Tomorrow he will expect you to give it to him. And that's where problems might arise. That needs to be solved. But anyway, Real Madrid winning against Villarreal, and they sit pretty at the top. Ajo.
Yeah, for me, I think this issue we should wait and see what the coach says about it in the press conference. Maybe what if on that given day the instructions was that okay, to let Vinicius would be the penalty taker, and I didn't see Mbappe angry or act up after he
Yeah, I
Vinicius
mean,
scored the
yeah.
penalty. So for me, I feel like it's not an issue. The issue is now that they've reacted to that five goals they considered at Wanda Metropolitano, and that's the biggest thing for me.
Right.
They also went to um, Champions League and won. So Zabi is finding a way to win the games he has to win. But the big question
Mm.
is the fine margins in the big games, those small tactical diagonals that beat them defensively. When is he going to solve them? A big game is coming up in the Clasico. Clasico is nobody's game. Madrid, Barca may look funny. Barca may lack wingers, backups. I mean, this Rooney guy is not a Barca standard. When Yamal is not available, there's no Barca shape. Yamal is becoming the Barca team. If he's not around, can they do something without him? El Clasico, again, we will judge this coach again whether he can do a good job. Because Madrid are all about the big games. You can win the Villarreal, Osasuna, and go. The big games in the Champions League and the big games in La Liga, you have to win them. For me, I like the partnership now with Militao and the Hoyson. It's stepping up with time, small. You'll get that rapport with time. But the problem is their fullbacks. Their fullbacks. I mean, Caballero is becoming indisciplined. Arnold is injured. Valverde played at right back. They said he's complaining, but he is not complaining. Valverde
No, he didn't complain. That statement was twisted.
false.
He
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
complaining.
If I'm
Yeah.
Valverde, this coach called Xabi Alonso, he feeds you with tactical instructions too much. If Valverde as a profile in the midfield doesn't like that. So if I am Valverde, I will keep quiet and feel comfortable playing from the right back position. There you have your free role to do what you want to do. Because the midfield will be packed with time. Ceballos is playing so well.
But if I'm Valverde, I wouldn't be eyeing the right back position because I can't keep it. There's Carvajal and Trent, two of the best right backs in the world. I mean, as a midfielder, I can't be eyeing their position because it takes one game for them to show up,
Yeah.
and I'll be on the bench
And
because I'd have
this is
missed
the
my
same
place in the
Valverde
midfield already.
that I mean, this when this coach came in, Thierry, he's the only one that we can see that Alonso's instruction, he doesn't enjoy playing it in the midfield. We're not seeing the free role Valverde again. When he goes to right back, we see Valverde that okay, we see the Don Carlo Valverde again. So probably it will take time for him to get himself accustomed to what this man needs in the midfield.
But the point I'm trying to make is
Mhm.
no matter how successful Valverde is at the right back position, I don't think it's a position that long
Where
term
you
any coach is going to be keeping him when you have Carvajal and Trent on the bench. Your board of directors are going to be asking you questions. Your fans are going to be asking you questions.
well if
You can't be spending that much money on those two players, natural right backs, and be playing a midfielder in that
but I think
position.
Arnold will be out for
Everybody's going to be
what I'm
asking
saying.
you questions.
Arnold will be out for quite some time. That's what I'm saying. You
Right.
can with that once Arnold is
Yeah, that's why I also use the word long term.
yeah.
So I mean, short term, yes,
Yes.
but long term is not sustainable. So
But when he
I would
moves
rather he
to
focuses on his
midfield,
midfield position.
I feel like he should, I mean, start getting himself used to instruction because he's not comfortable in deep areas in their own half.
Right.
And that's a problem for the coach. But aside that, they are doing quite well. They are scoring goals. People are saying they are scoring penalties. They win the penalties, they end the penalties because they have to play the penalties. So for me, they are doing. But our problem is that in the big games, we have to see the big Madrid. But that's what they are all about in the big games. For me, good win for
Right.
Madrid too.
Right. Madrid leading the La Liga race with 21 points. Barcelona have 19 points. Villarreal, even after losing, are third in that particular one. But also in the Serie A, Napoli, after winning their game on Sunday, are top with 15 points. AS Roma are second with 15 points. AC Milan they are currently playing as we record at this particular point on
Yeah, it's,
Sunday.
it's currently
and they're
goalless.
drawing.
I'm actually, yeah, it's goalless. I'm watching the game as we are recording. So.
Yeah, so it's a draw between or not a draw, but it's goalless between AC Milan and Juventus in the Italian
Allegri
Serie A.
back at home.
Yeah, he's back at home. I mean, I think it's a really, really good game. I
Yeah.
cannot wait to go and catch it. So in terms of in the spirit of running away from this podcast and going to watch that game, I'm going to be running through some of the notable stories that have been circulating. Manchester United reject Scott McTominay makes top 20 Ballon d'Or 2025. Why would you put that in there, producer Roberts? Why would you put this in there? And what a way to put it. Anyway, Martin Odegaard left with knee brace. Declan Rice also hurt as Arsenal struck by more injuries in West Ham United win. Esteval, of course, we've spoken about that. There are several others, but I'm not going to go into that. Let's go straight into the. Actually, guys, I think it's sacrilege if we don't talk about Ajo. Can you hear me? Ajo is offline. But Sicho, we'll wait for Ajo to come. But in the meantime, Semenyo was on a score sheet. He scored twice. He's the second top goal scorer behind Haaland this season. Kudus also scored his first goal for Tottenham Hotspur. Fatawi Sahaku also scored for Leicester City. That's a good weekend for Ghanaians, isn't it?
Inaki Williams also scored a goal for
Actually, Inaki Williams also scoring. So that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Otuado must be smiling.
Oh, some way. Anyway,
Oh, that reaction killed me.
Otto, you know him. Otto, you and a guy, you know him. Look, I'm very happy for all the boys, but I'm very happy
Right.
for Antoine Semenyo. I think that normally when
Extremely happy for him.
when we are home, when we are back home in Ghana or wherever we are as Ghanaians following our players, all we look up is upwards. Sometimes upwards is not a move to a club. Upward is a good negotiation with a team that wants to build around you and make you the main man for some time before you take the leap. I think when Antonio Semenyo signed this new deal, I think there was a word that was had with the coach that, look, I'm going to be responsible for the big things. The penalties are mine. The free kicks are mine. So when you look at Antonio Semenyo now, from last season, he's taking the free kicks for Bournemouth. He's taking the penalties. He's the leader. He's the man of the team. Everything is going through.
Right.
When you're in trouble, you're playing through him. And credit to Areola. He's shaped the team in a way that looks like Semenyo is in the center of it, or everything they do, he's key to it. And he's responded to that with good performance and good goals. His first goal was sublime because, look, when he
Yeah.
took the ball and dribble past his man and squeezed the ball through the legs of Ben Leno,
What a goal.
But
Yeah.
it's the second goal that tells us about his real mentality. Because when the ball was played wide, Semenyo was in his own 18-yard box. Semenyo was sprinting across the length of the pitch to put himself in a goal scoring opportunity. And this is not the first time he's done it. He did it in the game against Liverpool for his first goal. He made a very good run from the far side, got into the box, and then finished it off to make it 2-1 before he scored the solo one to make it 2-2. So for me, happy for Semenyo. Then to Kudus as well. Look, Kudus has had a good start to the season for Spurs. If he's not assisting, then he's causing problems. What was lacking was the goal. And I think now that he scored the goal, he's broken that shackle. I think that now that he's scored the goal, that whole weight of when it's your first goal coming, when your first goal coming is gone, we are going to see a lot more Kudus with a lot more calmer head in and around the box. And when Kudus is confident and is playing the way he's playing, and his teammates trust him in the way they trusted him, I think it's unplayable. Fatai Sahaku as well keeps firing with that sweet left foot of his. So yeah, credit to the boys. Good way to sign off with their clubs and join the national team to qualify Ghana to the World Cup.
I like that. I'm really excited for Semenyo, especially because, especially when you look at Bournemouth and the quality they lost this summer, the kind of players they lost, it means that his support base was literally gone. But he's still been able to prove his worth. And like you said, sometimes it's not about chasing the bigger clubs. Sometimes it's about staying put, knowing your level, and continuing to succeed at that level. There's a reason why the likes of Jermaine Defoe, no matter how many goals he scored, never signed for Man United and Liverpool and Chelsea.
But he's one of the best strikers ever in the history of the Premier League.
Exactly. Because you stay there and you are able to get the chances. You go to some of these clubs and if Semenyo is at Chelsea right now, he'll be rotating with Garnacho.
Yeah.
There's no way he starts every game and Garnacho sits on the bench.
And Chelsea won't build their team around him, so he will only be a part of
Around
the team,
him,
not
exactly.
necessarily the main guy,
Another
all of that. Yeah.
yes. Unless it's a new team that is being formed. For example, like when Sadio Mane left Southampton to Liverpool, Klopp built a team around him because at the time it was a group of new players. But when a team has already been put in place, there's no way at this point that you go into Liverpool and play ahead of Ekitike or Gakpo or Salah, or at Chelsea you play ahead of Pedro Neto and continuously play
Or
ahead of
if you move
Estevao and Garnacho.
if you move to Man United, we are thinking it's going to a big club, but it's going to be used as a fullback or a wing back.
Exactly, as a wing back,
Like Amad Diallo is being used,
Exactly. Or even if he plays in the forward areas, just like Cunha is on the bench today,
Yeah.
based on a tactical approach, anything can happen. And
Anything can
at
happen.
Bournemouth, you're guaranteed a starting berth. You are always going to be starting.
Yeah.
And unless you have a coach that trusts you and continuously tells you before you sign, you are going to be my main man, and I'm going to be building my team around you, like Thomas Frank did with Kudus.
Absolutely.
There's a clear plan, there's a clear message, and you fall in there. So I think we'll be wrapping up the show right now. Unfortunately, today we are unable to do the quiz because our joy is off at the time at the time.
Ajo the fear. Ajo the fear. In the fear. In the fear.
Ajo is sending me WhatsApp messages. Ajo, you are supposed to be on here. But anyway, that will be it for this particular conversation. Thank you very much, Sicho. And thank you very much, Ajo, for making it happen. And of course, for you watching, please remember to leave your comments on everything we've discussed and like and subscribe. We'd like to hear from you. Thank you very much. Same time next week. We'll see you.
Welcome to Footy Center podcast series. Welcome to Footy Center podcast series.